Thank you. Member for Wyong.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Energy and Environment. Do you support the privatisation of the remainder of Ausgrid, given the ACCC Chairman Rod Sims said that privatisation is severely damaging our economy?
Well, Mr Speaker, what a great question from the member for Wyong. A question on policy, a question on energy policy. So let me outline to the House exactly what I supported energy policy, and that's reliable and affordable power for the citizens right across New South Wales. And we'll do whatever it takes to put downward pressure on power prices in this state, which is exactly what we've done. Mr Speaker. We'll do whatever it takes to put downward pressure on power prices, and for the benefit of the member for Wyong, electricity prices are regulated in New South Wales. They're regulated in New South Wales, and I've just been going through these briefings, and there are regulations on power prices in this state, Mr Speaker. But Mr Speaker, I'm going to put members on call.
Leader of the Opposition's on 2 calls. Member for Canterbury's on a call.
Stick to the script.
Member for Campbelltown's on 2 calls. Thank you, Minister.
Mr Speaker, I'm delighted to talk about energy prices in New South Wales. I'm delighted to talk about electricity and energy companies, and that brings me to the Empowering Home scheme in this state, Mr Speaker, which is a $7.9 million allocation that we had in yesterday's budget to help with the rollout of solar panels and batteries right across New South Wales, helping homeowners in New South Wales access solar panels and batteries.
Mr Speaker, this is actually it's 129. This is a critical question for this state. Do you support the privatisation of the remainder of Ausgrid? It's not about electricity prices. It's about privatisation. Rule it in or out.
Minister, please continue.
There she is, the member for Strathfield. I love the member for Strathfield, and I think it's a matter of public record that she loves us on this side of the House as well, Mr Speaker. She loves us on this side of the House too, Mr Speaker.
Jody, join the Max. Don't worry about the libs.
Mr Speaker.
When's Chris going to get?
Sorry, Leader of the House is on a call. I'm about to take the point of order. I was about to stand up, and if I have to stand up and someone continues, then they're really at the risk of going out straight away. Member for Strathfield has a point of order.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's 129 again. This was a very clear question to the Minister about privatisation.
Thank you.
And
is it the same point of order?
Thank you.
Okay.
It is a question to the Minister. It is a simple yes or no.
The point of order. The Minister is.
Is it any one of the members for Strathfield's talking about privatisation? Because she voted for Boris Yemmer's privatisation of the electricity assets.
Minister, I was just ruling on the point of order. And I'm making it again clear that you are being generally relevant to the question, but it is only a very general relevance, but that's permitted under the standing orders at this stage. Please continue.
Well, Mr Speaker, I'm happy to talk about privatisations because the member for Strathfield supported the privatisation put up by former Premier Boris Yemmer. In fact, it's a bone of contention for half the members that are looking to support the member for Cogger in this leadership ballot, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, these are the same people that supported the privatisation of the state's generators of electricity assets in this vote. And they prorogued the parliament to actually do it without going to the people. We will go to the people, we will talk to people, we will make sure that we're putting downward pressure on power prices. We will make sure that we're delivering reliable power in New South Wales. I've outlined a plan to do exactly that, and that's what I'm focused on as the Minister for Energy. Mr. Speaker, but you know, as I said before, Mr. Speaker, we on this side of the House love the member for Strathfield, and it's a matter of public record that she loves us too, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, we were thinking of other people that we might be able to send over from this side to that side to run for the Labor Party leadership. In fact, the member for Kiama was someone we might volunteer for such a role. We thought it might increase the IQ on both sides of the House, Mr. Speaker. So
This is the Mr. Speaker, this is
it the same
it's
point of
129. It is the
It continues to be
fourth
relevant.
time he has been asked about whether he will
Thank you.
privatise
Would you grab
the
your seat?
remainder of
Take your seat,
Ausgrid.
please.
Yes or no?
I rule, as I did before, that the Minister has been generally relevant. Please continue, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, you know, I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals in the House. Strathfield wants to play, you know, word games and put hypotheticals. We've got no plans to do that, Mr. Speaker. This is just a silly word game by the member for Strathfield, who's having a leadership contest with the member for Cogra, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so what we've got is a Liberal sympathiser up against a union hater. They'll do anything not to talk about the problems on their own side, Mr. Speaker. You know, we're happy to talk about our positive plan for New South Wales. That's a positive plan in the energy space, and it's all about delivering reliable and affordable energy to citizens right across New South Wales. I talked about the Empowering Homes program. We'll be rolling out solar across New South Wales with battery, a $7.9 million program, as announced by the great Treasurer in this budget. There's a lot to do. There's a number of rebates, the New South Wales Families rebate, the low energy rebate. Over 900,000 New South Wales families are benefiting from our rebates package, putting downward pressure on power prices in New South Wales. And we know that there's about 300,000 New South Wales families that could benefit. So we're encouraging them to jump on the New South Wales Service New South Wales
I'm not going to
website.
take it. If it's something else, if it's a point of order, yep, as long as it's not relevance, because I've already ruled on that.
It's Standing Order 59. The Minister's teetering on irrelevance.
Okay. There's no point of order. There's no point of order. The Minister has the final 12 seconds.
Madam Speaker, we've got no plans to privatise Ausgrid, and the only person with plans is Ryan Park, and he said the situation is very simple. We're not opposed to privatisation as a general rule. He said that on the ABC this week with Wendy Harmer. So, 2016.